Hi and welcome back to my channel. In this video we're going to be looking at who's headed your way and what do they have to say. So there are three groups to choose from. Group 1 is this Agate. Group 2 is the clear Quartz. And group 3 is the strawberry quartz. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to, I'll give you a minute to make your selection and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps for each group in the description box of the video if you would like to jump ahead. Hi, Group 1. You chose the Agate. So I'm going to start with some oracle cards to get kind of a general overview of who is headed your way. Group 1. Okay, so we have Guardians of the Land, protection. Meandering pathway, flow. Stag spirit, leadership. And wolf spirit, family. So just very generally right away with this guardians of the land, I'm getting that this could be an earth sign. And if not, then this can definitely speak to somebody who is very practical in their kind of their focus, what their priorities. This could be somebody that you work with, or somebody who with that leadership card in their own right is maybe a business owner, somebody who is very successful in what they do for a living, or places a lot of priority on that. With the meandering pathway, this could be somebody that is skilled at recognizing opportunities and seizing those opportunities, acting upon those opportunities. This can be somebody who also likes to take a very practical approach to things, not somebody who really leads from necessarily a heart-centered space, but somebody who is very logically minded, somebody who before they make decisions or make action in their life, they're definitely looking at many different factors. They're considering many different things, what the payoff for that will be in the long run, what are the benefits versus the risks. And I feel that that applies to life and love for this person. With the appearance of, in this card right here, there's a stag with the antlers kind of in the background, and then also obviously here on the stag spirit card, for me that kind of resonates with divine masculine energy. So if you resonate as a twin flame, this could be kind of a confirmation or an indication of that this reading could be in relationship to your divine masculine. With the wolf spirit, I'm feeling that this is somebody that you consider to be almost a kindred soul, somebody who is part of your soul tribe. You resonate with them. There's a familiarity with them, almost like a past life connection with this person. You could share a lot of the same values with this person, or there's almost this loyalty to them as well, despite what might have happened also with that meandering pathway, kind of the ups and downs, the ebbs and flows that you have experienced with this person over time. There is still this enduring love and loyalty to them. With this reference to family, this could be somebody that you are currently married to, or you were previously married to. Maybe you have children with this person. This can also be somebody that maybe is very close with your family, or they're still is in contact with some of your family members, or vice versa. You in some capacity could have contact with this person's family members. There's some kind of a dynamic there that is kind of keeping your family units sort of enmeshed, or almost this energy of kind of like 6 degrees of separation, to where if you are in a period of no contact or separation from this person, you're still able to maybe hear about them from others, hear about them through your family. Maybe they are asking their family about you. This can also indicate as far as this person making their way towards you, and any kind of communication that they launch in your directions could come through a third party, like a family member, or even close friends that you consider family, can be the conduit for that, kind of that first introduction to let you know. Maybe this is somebody at a distance, and they let you know this person is back in town, this person has moved back into town, or they let you know that this person was asking about you, this person said to say hi, just any number of things that can resonate with your situation. And with this reference to family, this can also relate to friends who are like family. This doesn't have to be biological relatives, but some kind of a connection there, some kind of a community connection with this person. With kind of the snowy imagery here on this card as well, this can definitely indicate a connection that is on pause. It's kind of going through a winter phase, where the closeness you once shared has kind of died off with this person. It's kind of ebbed away. You could be in a state of complete no contact with this person, but with this meandering pathway and this flow, this almost looks to me like this spring energy, this rebirth. And with this person, this wizard, this kind of magician here, so drawing me to the magician card in tarot, this really speaks to this person and their desire to manifest a new opportunity with you, manifest a new beginning with you, that they maybe in this kind of winter or this pause period have had some time to kind of think about everything that has happened. Maybe some things about what they were placing their priorities on previously have come to light for them as really not, maybe providing material fulfillment, material stability, but that there's something lacking at the soul level. There's a curiosity that is sparked within this person about maybe whatever happened to you, what's going on in your life right now, something that's drawing them back in your direction to really consider a new beginning, or to consider even if you can start off as friends, maybe first of all, and just kind of build upon that. And I'm also drawn here to all of these mushrooms kind of in the foreground of this card here in the Guardians of the Land card, and this is really speaking to a lot of what is hidden from you, that there's a lot going on behind the scenes within this person's kind of like secret heart within their mind. This could come as quite a surprise to you, like with mushrooms, there's really no evidence of them, and then all of a sudden one day there they are, just sprouted up in full force out of the ground. And so again, this could be somebody that there's no evidence, or there hasn't been any evidence that you're on their mind, they're thinking about you, and then all of a sudden they just pop up into your existence one day, almost as if by magic, out of nowhere. So I'm going to get some tarot to get a little more clarification about this for you. Group 1, who is headed your way? Okay, so we have the Two of Cups, which is water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. And this can just very immediately kind of refer to, again, somebody that you've been in a romantic connection with in the past, somebody you consider a soulmate, maybe even some twin flame energy here, counterpart energy. And we have Temperance, which is Sagittarius, and this is really speaking to this person's desire to restore some balance into this connection, to maybe communicate some truth or some revelation that has occurred to them, some feelings that they may have suppressed or not really valued in the past, and kind of moving back in your direction to provide some closure, some explanation, to deliver some kind of a heartfelt message about, that they're still thinking about you, that maybe as life has kind of carried you both in different directions with that meandering path, kind of, flowing sort of maybe in and out of each other's lives, kind of at the peripheral of each other's lives, or just life experience in general has kind of taken you on different adventures. Nevertheless, you've been in this person's heart, and there's this curiosity to see if, the spark that was there once, if this still exists, if there's the possibility to regenerate that. With all these dragonflies here on this card, this definitely speaks to me of change. Dragonflies go through a couple different metamorphoses in their lifetime. They start off actually as, I think it's the first 2 years of their life are spent in the water, and then they transform, they go through this metamorphosis into these kind of airborne creatures. So this can really speak to, again, this person wanting to kind of come out of maybe some of the emotional depths or the disappointments that could have happened between you in the past, and really see if this connection can take flight, maybe with some wisdom that was gained, or just as time has passed, as your circumstances have passed, both of you have changed maybe significantly as people, your circumstances have changed, and so there's this desire to revisit this and see maybe what didn't work the first time around, or what didn't work in the past between you. Is there, do you have the ability to kind of create a new beginning, and maybe to value and respect this love, see the gift of this love from a higher perspective, and really give it some priority that they may not have been able to do in the past. So we also have the Ace of Pentacles, which is earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. And this can definitely speak to a desire for a new beginning, a substantial kind of a message or some kind of an offer that is made, maybe an offer to meet up with you, to have coffee, to get together, to see you. This can also relate back to what was coming through with that energy with the mushrooms, where all of a sudden this person pops up in your reality, almost as if out of nowhere. Just one day there they are, very unexpected. unexpectedly. You can also run into this person, maybe as you're out and about, or even as it pertains here with that family reference, and even friends that are like family, some kind of a community event that you're at, some kind of a social gathering, and unbeknownst to you, this person shows up at this event, shows up at this gathering. Maybe some mutual friend or somebody else that is at this situation knows this person and kind of brings them along, brings them in tow, and it's almost this serendipitous event, this occurrence where you encounter this person and you have this ability to kind of reintroduce yourselves to one another, to really catch up on anything time that has passed. You're able to really see this person and see how life and the experiences they've had in life have shaped them and transformed them, and vice versa. They're really going to be able to recognize transformation that has occurred within you. And that can be kind of that energetic spark that really reignites this person's passion for you, and really kind of brings home what might have been just kind of like a lingering curiosity, or you've been in their heart, you've been on their mind, but they up to this point hadn't really made the effort to reach out or to pursue that. But perhaps even seeing you, it fills them with this motivation where, with that leadership card, the stag spirit, where they're very invigorated to take action, to be very assertive in this, to reach out, not just to see you from afar and continue on their way, but there's this urge to communicate, this urge to make contact, and to just even energetically kind of revisit in a more active way the connection between you in general, and especially in this moment when you can encounter this person. And we also have the Eight of Cups, so more water energy there. And this is speaking to, again, moving beyond any kind of difficult or painful cycle that you were last in, any kind of sense of loss or disappointment, the heaviness maybe even of wondering what might have happened with this person, what could have worked out with this person, or even kind of dwelling on what didn't occur in the past, where you entered sort of this winter phase of your connection, where things sort of died back, they cooled off a little bit, and there's this surge within this person, this renewal to take action, to create new memories with you, to establish almost a new level to your emotional connection, to move beyond what happened between you in the past, the exchange of the past, and kind of with fresh eyes and a new perspective to see what else is possible, what can you unlock in each other and in this connection now moving forward. We also have the High Priestess, which is Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. So this can really speak to, again, things that are hidden, kind of like with that energy of the mushroom, where this person appears very suddenly. You're on their mind. You're in their heart. They're keeping this very close within them. They're listening to their guidance and their intuition, maybe even receiving some signs or some kind of divine inspiration about the time to act. As there's this inspiration within them, kind of this curiosity to see what you're up to now, how can you move this connection forward. And this feels like somebody who is really kind of like with that energy of practicality that was coming through, where this is somebody who really kind of evaluates all sides of a topic before making a decision and making an action. This feels like somebody who is strongly relying on their intuition. They're trusting in this urge that they have to make contact, to try to open the door to a new beginning with you. And this can also speak to the spiritual aspect of this connection that is becoming apparent to this person, that whatever they're seeing about you, this curiosity, this spark that is kind of reignited within this person, it definitely goes beyond just the physical aspects, maybe chemistry or attraction, but in a spiritual sense, at the soul level, something within them is almost awakened or reawakened that is prompting them to take action, to extend themselves, to reach out, and to really explore this. There's a sense of trusting in this, where they may not have put priority on matters of a spiritual nature, like a soulmate or spiritual connection in the past. Something has shifted and changed within this person. Something has kind of been activated or made clear within them, where there is now this urge or this renewed interest in pursuing this. Again, not merely for kind of the practical application of things, but for the very unique soul bond that the two of you share, that there's something within them that is telling them, it's almost screaming at them that this is a very significant connection. And if an opportunity presents itself, or they feel this overwhelming urge to create change and create action, that it is for their highest good. It is all with kind of a higher purpose in mind that they do so. And this feels like somebody who is leaning into that energy of trust into what's coming through. And we also have strength, which is Leo energy. So this speaks to maybe courage to reach out, make a move after a period of silence, and kind of reaching out into the unknown, not knowing if you'll receive them, if you will be open to hearing from them. We also have on this card again this wolf here, so more energy of that, as far as this kindred spirit, this soul tribe energy that they are feeling here, this bond and this loyalty, even energetically to this connection, that despite what might have been occurring in the 3D in the past, that deep inside that flame has remained alive for you in varying degrees. And this speaks of a time of really gathering their courage, summoning their courage to move through any kind of fear, hesitation, or doubt, and operate from a space of trust, of feeling this urge, this need to reach out, to make contact, to move forward, to try to turn the wheel in this situation between the both of you, to move beyond what occurred in the past or did not occur in the past, and seize the moment to create a new opportunity to, again, like with this Temperance card, restore some balance between the both of you in the connection. And we also have the Lovers, which is Gemini energy, so that can be another confirmation of twin flame or soulmate energy here, and speaks also to this desire for closeness. Can be a confirmation as well of this desire to kind of reignite the connection. And we also have the King of Swords, which is air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. So this speaks to lack of indecision being replaced with certainty. That it feels like this is somebody who, really, again, has taken the time to kind of evaluate everything, to weigh the options, taking into account this intuition, this instinct within them. As with the Strength card, they're really balancing that out, kind of the practical mind and almost the soul mind, this instinct within them. And it's something where any kind of indecision, it reaches a point of clarity for them with this King of Swords, and it's a truth that they want to deliver. This feels like somebody that when they reach out, it's going to be very bold and very direct. Again, like with that energy kind of the mushrooms, almost like they pop up out of nowhere. This isn't going to be somebody who is playing coy or just kind of hinting and suggesting at things, but it's going to be very direct communication, really to the point. Not somebody who's just going to kind of approach you and ask about the weather. This is going to be somebody who, makes a very direct approach to you and says, like, hello, how are you doing? What's been going on in your life? Just very, to the point, very, it's very clear that they want to engage with you, that this is more than just kind of casual conversation, although it may start out in a casual manner, just kind of building step by step up to that point of really re-exploring kind of the emotional potential here, the emotional depths. But this is somebody who, with this King of Swords, very clear communication, unmistakable, that this is not just, kind of in order to avoid an awkward silence, they speak to you if you happen to run into them and are in the same proximity. But it will be pretty obvious to you, kind of this level of enthusiasm, this level of interest, and the honesty with this person in what they present, and really being interested in hearing what you have to say, really being interested in learning what has gone on in your life. A lot of truth and honesty that could be revealed as well. This can also speak to some kind of an apology or clarity which this person provides to you in the course of really having a conversation with them, or maybe a series of conversations with them that follow this kind of initial contact, where they are able to really kind of address and provide some clarity for you about maybe some things they had prioritized. Again, that energy of kind of career and finances, maybe some more practical things in their life in the past that had caused them to focus their attentions on that at the expense of this connection. So I'm going to get some messages from this person now, from their higher self, and see what do they have to say for group 1. All right, and they say, I wish I could fix things between us. So that ties in with that energy of the apology, this clarity that may be coming through. And again, talks also about as time has gone on and they've kind of moved through their life, tried to carry on, move beyond the connection during this sort of winter phase, this die-off that has occurred between you and the communication. It's something where this has always kind of nagged at them. It's always been almost like a thorn within their heart, whatever occurred in the past, maybe a missed opportunity, or, almost this energy of regret for having not invested more into the connection emotionally or even time-wise or energetically, maybe not declaring or professing their love for you in the past. And it's something which this feels like somebody who may have also kind of, as they're sort of moving through their life, this feels like somebody who, has always kept an eye out for you, hoping and anticipating that they would run into you, that there would be, this opportunity to correct what occurred between you in the past. Also operating with that high priestess from a sense of trust that in divine timing, a solution would present itself, a window of opportunity would open up, and this person being very, almost very practically based, looking at for opportunities, weighing the benefits versus the cost, and then acting appropriately. This feels like somebody who definitely had kind of made a resolution within themselves that at the right time, if a window of opportunity presented itself, they would seize that opportunity. This was someone who would not continue to keep silent about their feelings, that it's something they've had this intention for quite a while, like with that energy of the magician that was kind of coming through here about really manifesting an opportunity with you to move beyond whatever happened in the past. And they also say, I'm sending you loving energy. Can you feel it? So this can really tie into this person really having you on their mind, in their heart, thinking about this, kind of working themselves up to a point, almost summoning this courage within themselves, maybe even kind of planning what they want to say to you as they are anticipating making a move, reaching out, maybe something that they're aware of, some kind of a group setting where they anticipate that they will see you. Or if this is someone at a distance who's kind of coming back into the same area as you, this has been heavily on their mind as far as the potential of encountering you, of running into you, or also making a concerted effort to do that, seeking you out, not just leaving it up to chance and fate that, a meeting would occur, but this feels like somebody who is in this planning stage of really wanting to correct whatever happened in the past, to really give you a deeper perception into their heart, into their mind than they may have done in the past, and to reveal some feelings that they have for you which have never gone away. And they also say, I act like I don't care when deep down I really do. So this can kind of tie in with that energy of King of Swords, which can also be very kind of stoic. Someone who's very controlled, not showing their emotions, is, just almost like a guarded energy, kind of somebody who really operates from the logical mind, somebody who is only focused on kind of the here and now and the tangible. And this is something which, if this is what this person has presented, then they are acknowledging that beneath that kind of cold or disconnected exterior that they present, it's almost like a mask or a persona. There's a lot of feeling for you. There's a lot of, a deep acknowledgement of this connection with the Two of Cups and the Lovers, experiencing kind of the spiritual aspects of this, recognizing you as, a soulmate, a twin flame, or a deep soul bond. Even if they don't have the language to really describe the connection as such, they are recognizing nonetheless that there's something very significant and profound about this connection, and it's something which, despite what they may have done or not done or said or not said in the past, there is this desire to kind of revisit things and kind of reinstigate and re-spark a new opportunity with you. So I'm going to get some more messages for you, Group 1. What does this person have to say? All right, and they say, I miss your touch. So this again speaks to that desire for closeness, to kind of reconnect with you, re-spark the connection, give it another go with you in romance. and see what can blossom out of that. And they also say, I blocked my heart because I needed to heal. I was in fear. Please understand. So that can tie in with that King of Swords energy and just being very closed off, not operating from an emotional space or not allowing those emotions to be seen, to be known. And it feels like, this feels like somebody that, again, with that energy of kind of practicality and really wanting to evaluate things from all angles, that this is a person who in general maybe hesitates to lead with their heart. This is somebody who really tries to come to an understanding, weighing all the options. And so this can be their way of accounting for that, where a very tangible spark, chemistry, connection could have been experienced mutually in the past, and this person failed to really act upon that or chose to move in a different direction. And a lot of that has to do with them really needing to kind of sort through how this would fit into their life, into their world, what this means on a spiritual level, what this means on an emotional level. Practically, what does this mean? Where to go from here in this connection? And they also say, please don't leave me, stay. So there is this desire to do something, to act in this connection, where in the past they may have really hesitated or chose inaction as the best course, the best choice for them. But that was coming up also with this, I wish I could fix things between us, where as they have kind of gone through their life and time has kind of gone on, that nevertheless you have occupied a space within their heart. They've been thinking about you and kind of working their way through sort of some obstacles or puzzles within themselves to move more into an emotional space, kind of out of that logic and into that heart space, which could be quite different or unusual for this person compared to how they move typically through the world. And so it may have taken quite some time for them to get to this point of, like with that strength card, kind of working up that courage to put themselves out there, to open up emotionally, to being more vulnerable than they have been in the past. But it is something that they've been working toward, and there's this hope within them that reconciliation will be possible, or that you'll be at least open to kind of hearing what this person has to say, or even just open to starting off as friends, kind of slowly but surely rebuilding this connection and getting to know each other. So I'm going to get a few more messages for you. Group 1, what does this person have to say? All right, and they say, I secretly dream of a future together. So that was coming up in terms of like this secret heart of theirs, kind of deep within, hidden beneath this very stoic exterior, this very practical, logical exterior that this person presents or operates with in the world in general. There is this desire to almost believe in the magic of love, believe in kind of the concept of soulmates, to believe in this love, believe that good things can happen from this, even if it's something which is not necessarily predictable, or something which is outside of their normal course of understanding or experience in love and connection. And they also say your sensuality is so alluring. So that is tying in with that missing your touch. And again, that earth energy, very tactile, very tangible. It's something where they're very drawn to you, drawn to a new beginning with you. And they also say, please don't give up on me. So that is kind of a double confirmation. And when they were saying, please don't leave me, stay, this person's really hoping that when they approach, when they make themselves known, when they reach out, that you will be open to hearing what they have to say. They're really hoping that the spark which they have continued to carry for you, this flame, this love that they have continued to hold within them, that it has similarly been held within you. And this is a person who is definitely in the process of stepping outside of their typical comfort zone to open up in a way that is unusual or atypical for them, very heart space oriented, a lot of vulnerability here. And so it's taking a lot of courage to kind of move through that, move through the comfort zone, kind of drop down into that heart space, and to really take a chance and put themselves out there, to activate a portion of themselves, this emotional body, which they maybe are not really accustomed to operating from or to acknowledging. and it's something which they're hoping that you're open and receptive to them, but even the potential fear that you will not be receptive to them, or that it's almost this energy of too little too late, despite all of that, which is definitely something that they have taken into consideration, are taking into consideration. This feels like somebody who will seize the opportunity if it presents itself to make contact, to try to respark the connection with you, or is also in the process of creating that opportunity for themselves, kind of mustering that courage to just put themselves out there regardless of kind of the results of that. So I'm going to get some initials for you now. This can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it can spell something out. Okay, so we have C, O, R, T, E, F, Q, G, I, P, and W. So those are your messages, group 1. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the video. If you liked the reading, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there is a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 2. You chose the clear quartz. So I'm going to start with some oracle cards to get a general overview of who is headed your way. All right, so we have air spirit knowledge, daffodil fairy, new beginnings, toadstools, growth, and starry night, acceptance. So just very generally right away with this air spirit card, this can definitely refer to an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. But this is also with this figure in the boat, kind of moving through the scene here. This can speak to somebody who is at a distance from you, either emotionally is presenting as kind of distant from you, is kind of pulled back from the connection if you're in communication with them. This can be somebody who kind of in tandem with this this night scene here, and then also relating into this concept of new beginnings. This can be somebody who you've had an ending, a breakup with. You're in a no contact situation with this person. They are at a distance from you, perhaps largely unreachable. They, some time may have gone on. They may have different contact information. This can be somebody who has deleted their social media or blocked or cut off communication in that sense. And so with this energy also of air here, where any kind of communication between you at this point, it could even be in the realm of telepathy, which is occurring, or you're kind of left to the imagination. You're really not certain what's going on in this person's life, where they're at, if they're even thinking about you, if they've been affected by what has happened, or how they are feeling about the loss of the connection. This can also then speak to somebody who is at a geographic distance from you, where it would require travel in order to physically be in proximity to each other once again. So this can speak to, in that sense, almost like communication needing to happen through word of mouth. So talking on the phone, or even like texts or emails or something over social media, where maybe a physical reunion, physical contact with one another might not be something that is immediately possible. But even with these little bubbles emanating here from this lady's hands, this can indicate thoughts that are being sent your way, telepathic messages, maybe some intuitive hits or signs that you are getting, that this person is thinking about you, this person is thinking about reaching out. You could be dreaming about this person frequently, or again for the first time, or this can also indicate, again, kind of like virtual messages, something technologically that is sent out to you, something that is sent out through the ethers to reach you in that manner. With this new beginnings card here, this can again tie in with somebody that you have gone through a breakup with. There's been an ending in the connection, and this speaks to somebody who does desire a reconciliation, who wants another chance. That could be the nature of this communication of if they are reaching out to you, they're in this process of kind of formulating what they want to say, maybe even with all this yellow here. This can speak to the solar plexus chakra, and really in this process of working up that courage to reach out, to create communication, perhaps for the first time in a long time, or maybe you ended things on kind of a sour note, and so it's taking a lot of courage within them to kind of reach out and try to open that door between you. And this is also speaking with all this yellow that relates to me to joy, and I'm thinking specifically of the Sun card in tarot. So if that resonates, Leo could be a significant sign for you in this case in terms of who is headed your way. But otherwise, this speaks to somebody who, when they think back on the memories with you and with this potential of a reconciliation or a new beginning, it's something which makes them very happy. It's something which would be very fulfilling for them. Something that they almost have missed the sweetness of the connection between the both of you. The Starry Night card can speak to a dark night of the soul that one or both of you have been in or were propelled into as a result of the breakup or just other circumstances in your life where a lot has become clear to this person. Also, as far as what you mean to them, what the relationship means to them. And it's almost like with this figure here, and he's kind of looking off into the distance, and this speaks to this person kind of hoping and wishing and imagining this, you know, kind of comet here, this shooting star. They almost could be wishing on a star for a new opportunity with you, a new beginning, a new chance. What they may have overlooked in this connection in the past, it has become clear to this person. It has become illuminated that this is a very, you know, unique connection that you have. This is a very unique opportunity that they have had in this lifetime to intersect with you at a soul level, to meet you and be part of your physical existence. And so what may have been just kind of a situation of taking you or the connection for granted in the past, it feels like a shift has happened, something that they are appreciating and recognizing kind of the treasure that this connection is. Also with all these kind of the comet and this kind of starry night sky, you could resonate as a star seed, so that can be a confirmation for you as well. And this comet can also speak to, again, some telepathy or communication coming from afar, somebody who is at a physical distance from you, or even just somebody who kind of reaches out across the ethers and kind of reemerges back into your life. With this energy here with the toadstools, these are, you know, with mushrooms, with toadstools, they kind of just, there's no evidence of them, and then one day they pop up out of the ground. There they are in full force, when, you know, the day previous it seemed like there was nothing there. So this really ties into this person just kind of popping out of nowhere, an unexpected message, unexpected communication that comes in from this person. A lot of spontaneity to that, where again, with this kind of solar plexus chakra energy, they may have been working up the courage for quite a while, and then just all of a sudden they get that, you know, that oomph to kind of hit that send button, to reach out, to just throw caution to the wind and put themselves out there regardless of what the result is. And this, you know, this energy of growth coupled with new beginnings speaks to this desire to kind of transcend beyond where you find yourself currently. And this can also tie in with a dark night of the soul that they have gone through, or that you have gone through as well, where there's been a lot of growth, emotional growth, self-awareness that has happened. And this energy of growth can also tie into that it has been a long time in terms of years that have passed since you last spoke with this person. So I'm going to get some tarot to get some more clarification for you, group 2, about who is headed your way. Okay, so we have the Two of Cups, which is water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. So this can speak to a soulmate connection, a twin flame connection, and definitely confirms that this would be somebody that you were in a romantic connection with in the past, or had romantic feelings for in the past. And it kind of shows here as well with this woman holding this cup, and kind of the man is not really, he's not grasping that. We can't really see if he has a cup of his own, or if there's just the one. So this can speak to almost like a one-sidedness to this relationship in the past. Maybe one person giving more than the other person was, a lack of reciprocity, or even somebody who was unwilling to accept the cup of love you had to offer in the past. And we've got the Five of Wands, which is fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So this can speak to conflict that occurred between the both of you. Maybe kind of a difficult ending, some kind of fight or eruption that happened. Some kind of struggle as well. Maybe trying to get this person to almost accept that cup of love, and this person being very resistant to that. Putting up a fight about that, or kind of being very evasive in terms of not wanting to really co-create with you in the past, not work on this connection, but somebody who was always kind of clamoring to sort of escape the call of love, to resist that call to really open up, and somebody who maybe was not really focused on working together with you to build the connection, but may have just been in a place of either energetically receiving what you had to give, the attention, the energy, without really giving much back, or somebody who again was just kind of running from that, very resistant to that, not wanting to accept that, not wanting to experience that. And we've also got Temperance, which is Sagittarius energy. So this speaks to a shift within this person, almost this energy here of this reciprocity, this desire to give emotionally to this connection, where in the past they may have very much avoided that, avoided intimacy, avoided closeness, avoided making a decision about the connection, or even investing fully into it, entering into a commitment with you. And it's something to where with these dragonflies here, these speak to me to transformation. Dragonflies go through a couple different metamorphoses in their life. They spend the first part of their life, first 2 years of their life, living in the water in kind of this pupa stage. And then they develop, they shift, they transform into these kind of airborne creatures, to where then when they're in contact with water, they're kind of sitting atop the water. They're kind of above that. And so this can indicate somebody who felt very overwhelmed with emotional vulnerability in the past, somebody who really felt that love might trap them, or a kind of a fear of being suffocated by love, and so that could have led to them avoiding this connection, kind of avoiding giving into this out of this fear of just being completely overwhelmed by it. Some growth has taken place, as we saw here in this toadstools card, to where they are now able to operate from a space of almost emotional mastery, not really fearing vulnerability as much as they had before, or fearing love, or even the intensity of this connection, but somebody who is a lot more in touch with their own motivations. They may have done some healing work to kind of get to some of those root causes within themselves, why they had a fear of love, why they were resistant to love, why there was almost this presumption that love would only trap them, or would keep them stuck or bound, would kind of limit their freedom, limit their autonomy. That there's been some elevation or ascension that has happened in these ideas and these concepts of love, to where there's almost a sense of emotional mastery, understanding that emotions can be acknowledged and they don't need to be overwhelming. And we also have the Empress, which is Taurus and Libra. So this can apply if you resonate as a twin flame and you identify as the divine feminine. This can be a confirmation for you in that sense. But this really speaks to this person coming to this awareness, wanting to really give into this connection, nurture this connection, feed into this connection, recognizing that the experience they had with you, the joy that they had in the past that they may have really taken for granted or not appreciated, that it's something where a shift has happened and there's a desire to experience more of that, to allow that love to permeate them and to grow them in the best possible ways from the inside out. This is somebody who really feels that through a partnership with you, they would be encouraged, they would be supported to step into that best version of self. This can also be somebody who has experienced loss in other ways in love, and they have been able to kind of move beyond the fear of being kind of overwhelmed or swept away by their feelings and by love in a very negative capacity. And they have shifted to really understand and recognize kind of the importance and value, and to distinguish the love you have to offer as very nurturing and healthy compared to what they may have experienced or dealt with in the past. We also have the Hermit, which is Virgo energy. So this can talk to, again, a period of separation between the both of you. This also really talks to that journey to the internal realms, almost like that dark night of the soul energy, that this person could have kind of pulled themselves away from people and experiences in general, kind of this call of the soul to really seek some wisdom out of some difficult or painful experiences that they had in the past, to really, face up to some of these shadowy aspects, some of these distortions that they may have been operating from in the past, and that wisdom has been gained, insight has been gained, and now this Hermit is kind of emerging from that cave, coming forward with that wisdom. with a plan of almost action, a knowingness about what needs to be done, where truth lies, distinguishing truth from illusion. And we've also got the King of Cups, so more water energy there. And this speaks to this emotional maturity that has happened, this embracing of love, this want to really give into love and experience love in a way that they may not have been capable of or willing to do in the past. And it definitely speaks as well to this desire to give more into this connection than they had previously, to show up as a more emotionally available person than who you might have been dealing with in the past. We've also got the Eight of Cups, so more water energy, and this speaks to, again, this desire to kind of move beyond any sort of difficulties, any kind of disappointments as far as this person's maybe emotional unavailability in the past, where you had been maybe the only one really giving love or really feeding into this connection in the past. And this person didn't really have the tools or the ability to kind of meet you at that level, to practice kind of this equal give and take from you. And this speaks to this desire to kind of depart from that, to set off in a new direction, armed with this wisdom and these tools and this emotional self-mastery, this emotional maturity which has taken place. And this person feels like they're stepping and have stepped largely into this place of confidence where they feel within themselves some kind of evolution has taken place, where they are now in a space within themselves to be an adequate match for you, to show up in the relationship and support the relationship and nurture the relationship in all the ways that they may not have been able to before. And we've also got the Knight of Cups, so more water energy, and again speaking to this desire to come forth with an emotional offer, a love offer, a declaration of love, or some kind of a confession of what they have come to realize that they may have taken for granted or overlooked or been fearful of in the past. This speaks to somebody who really desires to make known to you how much they value this connection and this desire that they have to contribute, to participate in this connection, where in the past there may have been an energy of kind of resistance or avoidance of the connection, kind of fighting this urge to really open up and to experience reciprocity in love. So I'm going to get some messages now from this person's higher self for you, group 2. What do they have to say? All right, and they say, I wish I could turn back the clock and do things over. So they have come into this sense of knowing, this wisdom, like with the Hermit card here, where it has become apparent to them they face some shadows within themselves about how they may have sabotaged this connection, or have been in a kind of a pattern of sabotaging opportunities for happiness and fulfillment out of a fear of really making themselves vulnerable, opening themselves up to potential disappointment and loss. And so armed with this knowledge, there is this desire to, again, kind of regenerate things, to create this new beginning. They're in a place of trying to accept that the past can't be changed, but they do have the ability to at least put themselves out there, to at least direct energy toward the creation of something better than what you may have experienced with them in the past. And we also have mental health. So this can tie into that energy of the dark night of the soul that was coming up, where, you know, this person could have really gone through some depression and anxiety recently, kind of an awakening process where there was a deep reckoning that needed to happen with self. They could have gone through a process of feeling very defeated, very deflated, filled with a lot of regrets. They could have really been struggling with, again, kind of these deep emotions, kind of both the depths of sort of depression or despair that they were perhaps seeking to avoid, even the despair stemming from the loss of love that they may have experienced in the past, that a heartbreak of the past may have really kind of plunged them into a deep hole within themselves. And it was something which, you know, it might have taken a long time to recover. They could have vowed to themselves that they would never open up and love again and risk getting hurt. And so then fast forward to when you are encountering this person, you're dealing with this person, and it was almost that wound of the past that had restricted their ability to really give adequately from a heart level. And so this is something where it feels like part of this acceptance which has happened is really kind of unearthing the root of that motivation or that behavior within themselves, dealing with some issues with depression or with loss, even some self-esteem issues that they've been kind of carrying around residually from some heartbreak of the past. But with the growth card here, it looks like they have really overcome some of these challenges within themselves. They've really come to accept what they've been through and recognize the need to kind of leave the past behind them and to move forward with optimism and trust that, you know, they have some better discernment, they have some better tools, and you know, that kind of closing themselves off to opportunities in love, it doesn't lessen the pain of what they experienced in the past. It only kind of serves to limit their joy in this lifetime. And so this feels like somebody that has made a choice to kind of take a different route in their life, move beyond these feelings of kind of despair and depression and step toward this joy to try to create joy for themselves in their life. And they also say, I act like I don't care when deep down I really do. So any kind of resistance you may have experienced from this person in the past, it feels like it was largely motivated by, again, this fear or paranoia of loving and losing. And it was not a real indication of the feelings that they have for you, this kind of soulmate, this deep connectedness, anything that they might have been resisting. You may have really taken that personally, taken that upon yourself, and this could have motivated you almost in a tendency, almost kind of leaning into people pleasing, of wanting to give more and give more and give more, just in the hopes that this, you know, feeling what you were giving up to this point wasn't enough. And so then kind of this maybe almost like a program mechanism within you of perhaps in your childhood you were taught that you know, if you weren't giving constantly of love, then you were not valuable. You were, you know, your love was definitely conditional, or it was, you know, love given to you was very conditional, that only when one acts in a certain way are they lovable. And this is something that, you know, could have just unconsciously kind of carried forth into this situation where this person's own issues and their kind of resistance and their aloofness and their not giving into this, it almost triggered that wound within you, that something was missing, something was lacking in you. And so it caused you to kind of want to give more and give more and give more to hopefully get to a place that it was enough for this person, that, you know, you were deemed then worthy of love, and then to spark this person to give back. And so this feels like something which, as this person's been doing some growth and some healing, this is something you've also been healing, or you're being called to heal within yourself. You're being called to recognize that your love is valuable, just as it is, that you are valuable just as you are. Your worth is not defined by the ability of others to appreciate and receive that. Kind of this awareness that others, everyone is kind of operating with their own series of wounds and kind of conditioning and programming. And while it's not possible to change others, you can do that work on yourself to gain some self-awareness, to really change any kind of procedures that you have as far as moving through the world or how you move through relationships. And so it's something where in that vein, this really is tying in with this person, that it's really this energy of it wasn't you, it was them. They had a lot of feelings for you. And this is something which the intensity and level of that could have really just triggered this wound, sparked this wound within themselves to pull back, to resist, which in turn, it's almost like hurt people. Then their actions sort of triggered this wound within yourself to want to give more, and then just leading to this imbalance where now reciprocity is necessary. This person has recognized that they need to give into this connection, that it was very perhaps one-sided for a while. But, you know, like with that, wishing they could turn back the clock and do things over, they have now come to this point of clarity where they're kind of recognizing this inequality that existed, and there's this desire to show up and be more present and to participate in the growth of this connection, instead of just being the person who is just in receipt of all the energy. So I'm going to get some more messages for you, group 2. Okay, and they say, I'm afraid to open up to you. I don't want to get hurt. So that was coming through, this fear of kind of loving and losing, which has held this person in the back in the past. This feels like a shadow that they have acknowledged within themselves. They have kind of resolved that for a large part, but part of an extension of that process of resolution is going to be moving through fear and reaching out, operating from that space of trust that what they may have experienced in the past in love does not necessarily dictate their future experiences. And they also say, I hope you understand my position. I am just going through a lot. So this can tie in with that spiritual awakening, dark night of the soul energy, kind of that hermit mode that they were in, very withdrawn from the connection or even from other people in their life, needing to kind of go down into the depths of their subconscious and their psyche and really unearth some of the wounds that have been kind of almost acting as a puppet master in terms of their ability to navigate through relationships in the future. And this feels like somebody who's really in this process of kind of reclaiming their power, stepping into their own autonomy, kind of closing the door out to some wounds of the past that they've been carrying around and that have again been kind of forcing them to navigate in certain directions in their life, that these fears and these wounds have been acting as blocks to this person really experiencing joy, experiencing love, and have really restrained their ability to give in a loving and authentic way to connections in their life, both in this sense and I feel in other ways in their life. This could be somebody who just has kind of a resistance to intimacy and emotional vulnerability in general. This could be somebody with a lot of acquaintances but few good deep friends, and it's something where they've been forced into this period of really looking into that, really seeing why do they kind of have a lack of lasting and deep connections, people who are truly there for them, who truly have their best interests in mind, and so kind of a great catharsis and metamorphosis that has been going on with this person. And they also say, I miss your touch. So this speaks to that desire to reconnect, to hopefully reconcile, to move back in your direction, what they may have taken for granted or resisted in the past. Enough healing has taken place that they feel comfortable, they feel confident, they feel in a position to be able to show up as a better version of self, a more healed version of self, a more self-aware version than the person you were dealing with previously. So I'm going to get a few more messages for you, group 2. What does this person have to say? All right, and they say, I secretly dream of a future together. So in the silence, in the distance, you have been in their heart, you've been on their mind. What has happened in this connection has definitely been part of this evaluation process within themselves, this shadow work that has taken place where they may have, sabotaged this connection due to emotional unavailability. And there's this desire to correct that, to course correct, to move back in your direction, to show up and present themselves as someone who is more able, willing and ready to participate equally in this connection with you. And they also say, I have serious fear of both abandonment and suffocation. So that was definitely coming up, this fear of loving and losing. And then also with what was coming up with those dragonflies and kind of how they spend that first part of their life under the water, and this person really fearing about being submerged by their emotions. This ties in with that energy of suffocation. So kind of a confirmation there of some of these wounds that may have been the motivation for their conduct in the past. And they also say, you're so much stronger than I am. So this person really admires your emotional vulnerability, your ability to trust in your heart, to lead with your heart. It is something that is very intimidating to them, but also something which has served as an example, kind of this motivation for them to do this work within themselves as they've been going through this dark night of the soul relating to a lot of different areas of their life. When the topic of love came up, you're definitely somebody that they are looking at as somebody who leads with their heart, somebody who is very much in touch with their emotions, and it has has been a motivation point, something to strive to. It has caused them to want to continue that journey down into the depths through all these layers of wounding within themselves to reach that point where they too can be comfortable and confident with what they're feeling. They can trust in that. And they can allow their heart to lead the way versus kind of the fear and ego mind that they may have been operating from in the past. So I'm going to get some initials for you now, group 2. This can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it can spell something out. All right, so we have D, C, J, V, R, Z, M, X, O, G, and B. So those are your messages, group 2. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the video. If you liked the reading, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, group 3. You chose the strawberry quartz. So I'm going to start with some oracle cards to get a general overview of who is headed your way for group 3. Okay, so we have Wise Woman of the Grove, Grace. Stag Spirit, Leadership. Owl Spirit, Wisdom. And Butterfly Spirit, Transformation. So just very generally, what is sticking out to me with this winged owl and then the winged kind of butterfly fairy here, this could be an air sign that you are dealing with, or you might be an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. And with this clamshell here, this is speaking to water energy, so Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. But that aside, I'm also drawn to, with this stag spirit here, for me, this as a reader, this kind of resonates with divine masculine energy. So if you resonate as a twin flame, this could be a confirmation of your divine masculine, or somebody who just kind of strongly operates from that divine, or not the divine, but strongly operates from kind of the masculine polarity within themselves, very action-oriented energy, as opposed to and in contrast to kind of the feminine polarity within self, which is very receptive. Coupled though with this owl spirit, that ties in for me as the divine feminine. So this is speaking to somebody who has achieved or has worked on some balance within themselves as far as kind of the active and receptive polarities within themselves. With the two of these cards here, this can definitely confirm a twin flame connection. So the return of your masculine or the return of your feminine, just whatever it is that you resonate with in your particular circumstance. With this butterfly spirit here, this is somebody who wants to maybe transform or elevate the connection beyond the level or layer that you were last dealing with each other. Some kind of awareness or epiphany may have also come to this person as far as who you are to them, what this connection means to them. There's also a reference here with this wise woman of the grove of this wisdom. So that's coming up twice, where somebody has become aware, it has been made clear to this person. Maybe this was somebody where you had mentioned terms or titles such as twin flame or soulmate in the past, and they had just kind of sloughed that off. They had just kind of dismissed that as sort of foolish or magical thinking, but that something has happened over the course of time, or in a period of separation between the both of you, where they may have been getting some signs or some synchronicities, some things that have come into their path. Even if they had initially kind of dismissed that terminology or those notions, I feel that this person has kind of they've been sitting with that, almost with this kind of pearl here as well. That's also speaking to this wisdom that has kind of crystallized out of, pearls are kind of formed within the oyster as a result of a grain of sand or some other irritant that has entered the shell. And pearls are they're almost like a calcium deposit, which is generated by the creature, by the animal of the oyster, to kind of rid themselves or isolate that irritant from the soft tissue from the body. So I'm feeling that this pertains to, maybe those concepts of twin flame soulmate that had been very triggering to this person, had been very repellent to this person in the past. Nevertheless, it was almost like a seed planted that has kind of had this time to sort of roll around within them. They may have found other kind of information as well, done some research. We have here also in this treasure chest, and this gem or this pearl almost, it looks like, that is being revealed. So some kind of a truth about this has become revealed to them. They may be resonating with the title Twin Flame, Soulmate, something, maybe they have been watching tarot readings or reading about this. It's been coming up, into their world, into their perception, and they have had no choice at this point but to really take a look at that, really kind of search within themselves, kind of look beyond why it triggers them so much, why this is such an irritant to them, maybe even why the connection with you, the energetic connection with you, or other circumstances of the 3D dynamic, why that has been so triggering to this person, why they are feeling this draw to you, this magnetism to you, and yet at the same time this strong repulsion, and that something has really transformed within them to where they're starting to see the greater lessons here. Almost the fact that this connection has really mirrored something within them, some kind of unresolved things within themselves, or has almost revealed this path to inner growth. This feels like somebody who has really learned some lessons from that, who has gained some wisdom about their own motivations, or perhaps even some kind of narrow perspectives that they were carrying around as far as love, as far as what love would look like to them, who the perfect partner is for them, or even some kind of notions they had attached to a particular person other than you, who was their one, who was the person for them, who was their destiny, their dream person. And something through their experience, or through this wisdom that has come in, maybe some knowledge that they have gained, it has become clear to them that the person they were previously identifying, or type of person they were identifying as a proper match for them, is in fact ill-suited to them. Or on the contrast, that things they may have overlooked or been very kind of triggered by, almost this energy of the yin yang, this sort of opposites attract. There's a valuing that has occurred. There's some way in which they're seeing that kind of the strengths and the deficits within the both of you complement each other very well. There's something about the energetic aspect of this connection and the growth which has been kind of triggered, or they've been catalyzed into. As they kind of have been trying to sort of figure their way through and kind of maneuver their way around, maybe why they're still thinking of you, why they're still feeling you after having cut off contact, after moving away, kind of rejecting this, and yet they could be seeing signs about you, dreaming about you a lot, feeling the energetic connection a lot still. And it's been something that they've been forced to then research this, to try to puzzle that out, find out why, what's the significance of this. Or even, why they are feeling such a strong attraction to somebody that, you two just couldn't seem to make it work. It's like you were triggering each other, triggering these wounds, holding mirrors up for these wounds within each other in order to really launch into your own kind of personal healing and evolution journeys, to then, through these kind of divergent and yet parallel paths, to intersect at a future point as more healed and kind of ascended versions of self. So a lot has taken place within this person, I feel personally, and also in regards to how they're viewing you and the connection. So I'm going to get some tarot to get some more clarification about this for you. Group 3, who is headed your way? Okay, so we have the Eight of Cups, which is water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. And this can speak to somebody who maybe had kind of moved away or was sort of repelled by the connection in the past, and this desire to, kind of move on beyond the difficulties that occurred between you in the past, that something has evolved within this person emotionally where they are understanding this bond, they're understanding this connection more. On this card here with this kind of vessel, it's depicting the phases of the moon. So this is really speaking to this metamorphosis, this clarity that has come to this person. They've evolved from a place of resistance into really seeking, finding some answers and are kind of in this stage of taking that answer, that wisdom, that pearl of wisdom that has crystallized within them, and moving into this phase of really wanting to take action with that, allowing that wisdom within themselves to generate a change in their behavior or some kind of momentum or movement forward. Something that has really evolved within this person as well, within their emotional body, within their heart space, within their concepts of love or understandings of love and connection. And we also have the Knight of Swords, which is air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. So this can speak to this truth, this clarity that has cut through the illusions within this person, any kind of resistance that may have occurred in the past to concepts of twin flame or soulmate, or even the connection with you, resistance to that, that something has been kind of stripped away, almost the ego mind has been kind of cut away, the illusions have been cut away, and they have come to this place of clarity, of truth, of understanding. This wisdom has been revealed. This can also speak to somebody who, wants to come in and deliver some truth to you, deliver some clarity, that they figured it out, that you were right, that they understand now what you were talking about, what was kind of a vague and triggering concept to them before, is appreciated and known and understood with a greater level of depth and clarity than they were previously operating with. And we also have the Magician, which is Gemini energy. So this can speak about wanting to manifest this new opportunity with you, kind of taking these tools of experience and wisdom, the tools of emotions, what they have, been feeling versus, than what they have kind of researched, what they have discovered, what has kind of come to them in the form of signs and downloads, kind of putting all these pieces together to come to this knowledge, to come to this understanding of the truth of this connection, the truth of this situation, that kind of the very charged and elevated energy of the connection between the both of you. The triggering is really for both of your ultimate good, to transform you into the best version of self, into a better version of who you are, a more self-aware version than you were operating at prior to coming into contact with one another. And so armed with that, with the experience and the knowledge that they have, they are now in a position of wanting to create change, wanting to take that truth that is within them and deliver that out in the form of almost gifting you this apology, this truth, creating a new opportunity with you, letting you know that they see the light, they understand, they recognize this connection now as something that is very empowering, as opposed to something which might have been kind of frightening or off-putting before. They are seeing this connection with you and kind of the very unique and otherworldly dynamic that exists with you as a source of power for them, and something which has the potential to really transform their life and their experiences of love in general in a very positive way. We also have the Sun, which is Leo energy. So this can again speak to this joy and this harmony, wanting to create a positive new beginning with you, moving beyond any sort of resistance, confusion, or denial that they had been operating in the past. Some inner child wounding that may have been healed within them as well. Kind of this resistance to love, these misconceptions about love, illusions of love that had been templated in them from either their family of origin, what they might have grown up in, or what others around them had really taught them is love should look like, a dynamic between people should look like. With that energy of opposites attract, there could be an age difference between the both of you. You could be from different cultures, different religions, just somehow you didn't fit into this box, or the circumstances didn't fit into the box of what they had perceived would make for a well-matched couple. And so that is something which, those ideas, those preconceived notions, looking at the connection just from the outside, from the exterior circumstances, from what was physically presented to them, and resisting that perception of kind of this soul bond, the energy that they were feeling, this draw that they were feeling, allowing the fear to hold them back. This is some wounding that, they may have really addressed within themselves. They may have learned to kind of release that, being so tied to the experiences and opinions of others in their family, others within their culture, and stepping into this place of autonomy. Actively working to move toward their own definition of happiness, regardless of how that looks to others. And we also have the 8 of Swords. And so this is really speaking to kind of this sort of skepticism that had existed within this person, and just kind of working through that shadowy aspect of this connection, kind of the feeling of being trapped in almost a cultural idea, or trapped in the perception of what others had deemed would be an adequate partnership for this person. This feels like someone who has liberated themselves from kind of the containment of ideas, the fear of being judged or being misunderstood by others, that in the past they couldn't really see how this connection could work, that you were so seemingly on the outside opposite from each other that they may have just very quickly dismissed it. The triggers that were coming up, they may have equated that with something being very wrong, very amiss about this situation, really ignoring the fact that kind of in tandem with that was this draw, this urge, this pull, not from, necessarily almost like a place of self-punishment or kind of, wanting to gravitate toward toxicity, but almost in this sense of their soul letting them know that there's something to be gained from this, there's something to be learned from this. On the other side of almost this fear and resistance, which was being kind of summoned or boiling up from within them, was this kind of path to this wisdom, this knowledge. And so this person could have, even energetically over the course of time, you could feel this person kind of ebbing and flowing towards you, sort of feeding into this and then pulling back and resisting, like a tug of war, a push-pull here. And it's something where, with this Eight of Swords, they've really freed themselves from that illusion, from the impasse that has been within their own mind. Swords energy is, speaking with that, about that mental energy here, and also communication. So any kind of blocks, not really speaking their feeling, not speaking their truth, or more importantly, admitting the truth of their feelings to themselves. Something has happened where they have freed themselves from that self-imposed prison, and they are really recognizing the beauty that exists here, the potential that exists here in this connection that might have been overlooked in the past. And we've got the Ace of Cups, so that is more water energy, and this is speaking to this desire to make a romantic offer, to take that cup of love that you were offering to them in the past, and to also give one to you as well. This sense, it's got this otter here on the card, and otters, when they are sleeping, when they're in the ocean, they hold hands while they are sleeping, so that they are not, the ocean currents are not causing them to sort of drift away from their partner. And so I feel energetically that this kind of confirms that your souls have been entwined. The bond has been unbreakable and will continue to be unbreakable, despite what the 3D circumstances have looked like. And this is something where, again, this person is really acknowledging and recognizing how working with this connection, not resisting this call, this pull, but really seeing this as a source of support, how your strengths and your deficits really balance each other out. They're starting to recognize kind of the safety that exists within this connection, that it is outside of the box for their experiences and what others may perceive as right for them, but it's an opportunity to really grow in some amazing ways, both in the material world in terms of what's possible, and also in terms of their self-awareness and emotional growth. So it's something that they're wanting to lean into. They're wanting to take hold of this connection and to really work with these energies in contrast of operating in a space of resistance. And we also have the King of Swords, so this can speak to direct communication, this clarity, this truth that has come to this person, this certainty where they may have been really resistant or kind of fear-based, ego-based before, that something has kind of cleared away with that. They have cut through that indecision, and there is a knowing, a soul knowing. They are listening and trusting in that guidance from their higher self that is coming in and is urging them in the direction of this connection. And we also have the Seven of Wands. So this can really speak to, again, that energy of kind of defensiveness, resistance, sort of pushing this away, not wanting to recognize, not wanting to see kind of the gift that this connection offered, as much as it may have been outside of the realm of what they had imagined for themselves love would look like. This is something which they may have resisted this or kind of tried to push this away for quite some time. But again, with that King of Swords, they've moved into this area of clarity where there's a desire to discontinue the energy of resistance, to feed into this connection as opposed to continue to recoil from it. So I'm going to get some messages now from this person's higher self for you, group 3. What do they want to say? All right, and they say, please don't move on. So this person is really, they feel almost in this energy, like with that Knight of Swords, that they want to hurry in quickly to make this truth known to you. There's almost this sense of panic that as they have come to the realization that they misjudged the connection, or that they were really kind of running from wish fulfillment this whole time, as this has become apparent to this person, there's a desire to swiftly move back in. They're hoping that there will be time, that you will still be open to receiving them, that it will not be too late when they arrive to tell you that they understand this more, they understand this connection. It's something that they have come to value and appreciate, maybe even some deeper understanding they have of concepts of soulmate, of twin flame. Even if you hadn't mentioned this to them before, this is something they may have just come upon on their own. They may have gathered this wisdom and this knowledge on their own. And it's something where, you know, they are almost at a very hurried pace trying to come back in to create a new beginning, if possible, with you, to kind of move beyond any sort of rejection or doubt that they may have embodied in the past and move toward the potential of a very positive beginning with you. And they also say, please don't give up on me. So more of that energy that ties in with please don't move on. They're really hoping that your heart will still be open to them when they return. They are acknowledging, kind of almost feeling a little bit foolish for having kind of run or you know, feeling bad about maybe misjudging you, kind of judging based on appearances, not listening to their heart, not listening to their soul, but putting too much focus on what that looked like, what it might look like to others. And so there's this desire to come very quickly in your direction to right some of these wrongs. And again, this hope that your heart will be open to them. You'll be open to hearing from them. You will receive what they have to say, that you will be able to see the transformation that has occurred within this person, that it will be evident based on the energy that they are directing towards you, based on their actions, and also what it is, the truth that they are able to deliver to you, their understanding. And we also have divine counterpart. So confirmation that this person is recognizing you as their counterpart, their soulmate, their twin flame. This can be part of, you know, what they are wanting to rush back in and tell you, that they've come to this realization. They have seen the light. They are understanding this. They're wanting to work with this concept. They're understanding kind of the greater purpose of this, beyond even just kind of the 3D physical union between the both of you. They're understanding how you both kind of motivate and support each other in this phase and these processes of kind of self-awareness, self-acceptance, transcending the limitations of self, moving actively and constantly toward that best version of self, seeking to embody that, to course correct whenever necessary, to step back into that high vibration, to seek more than what you have been kind of convinced or told that life should look like for you. And this energy of just moving into a space of trust, of really perceiving, again, beyond kind of the physical 3D realm to really operate largely from a soul level, taking the counsel of each of your higher selves into account, along with your heart and your logical mind and your tangible experience. All these kind of tools, as we see here in the Magician card, that this person is really understanding this concept that, again, goes far beyond just romance and love and 3D union. They're seeing this as a very enriching and unique connection that has really helped to unlock some doors within them, and really generate and catalyze some very powerful change, transformation, and self-awareness. So I'm going to get some more messages for you, group 3. What does this person want to say? right? And they say, please forgive me. So that is embodied in the King of Swords, like an apology that may come in, letting you know that you were right, that they had misjudged this connection or judged you based on surface appearances, the appearance of what this looks like, how different this bond between you or the spark between you or the feelings were from what they had experienced in the past or had been kind of taught or come to believe about what love should look like. So there is a desire to, again, quickly move in, hoping that your heart is open, that you're receptive to this person, that you can both transform this connection from where you last left things and move in a more positive direction. And they also say, I want to make love to you. So definitely a desire for closeness. And this is really tying also in for me to working with the energy between the both of you. Instead of resisting the connection, there's this desire to embrace this bond, embrace this kind of multi-level, multi-layer bond between you, recognizing this as both a force of destruction in terms of breaking down the illusions and barriers within self, and also a force of creation in terms of recognizing new potential, creating new opportunities, kind of birthing some of those qualities that may have been dormant within self. That this person is really recognizing this connection with you, this energy exchange, this kind of entwined energy of the souls, as something which is very uplifting, very powerful, very unique from what others around them are experiencing or talking about or have come to know about love. And it's something where, they've gone through this process of really recognizing this connection as a gift, and something which they want to cherish, they want to savor, they want to work with this, they want to work in tandem with you. They feel that there's a lot to be gained from that, a lot more to be gained than to continue to operate in kind of an energy of resistance or denial that they may have been in previously. And they also say, sometimes you don't listen and it really upsets me. So this can be part of that triggering that comes up, where again, there's such a magnetization toward each other, and yet this strong repulsion, kind of pulling in to exchange that energy very intimately. And then that energy kind of transfers down into these wounds within the subconscious that need to be kind of touched on, addressed, pinpointed. And part of that kind of the energy of then repelling from each other is that opportunity to really then have the space to do that work within self. This can also pertain to kind of a message from this person to this person, their higher self and their heart almost scolding them about not listening to that call of the heart, not listening to this instinct, this intuition, allowing the opinions of others or the perception of what this would look like to dictate their actions in the past. And so again, kind of this scolding about like not listening or putting so much credence on what others say, others' kind of view of things, or even these other relationships that are demonstrated to them, what love looks like for other people, to instead listen to that truth within themselves, the truth of their soul, the truth of their heart, that is that pearl, that is that gem, that is where the true wisdom lies, is within self. It cannot be found in the outside world. And so this really speaks to this process that this person has been in, kind of moving away from largely ego-based thinking, preconceived notions, even biases as far as something of a cultural nature, or religious nature, or just maybe even concepts tied in with their family or their friends, and kind of wanting to mimic what relationships that others around them are in, what that dynamic looks like, and that they've gone through this process of really stepping into their autonomy, really recognizing that truth of their heart, their soul. What is the right path for them versus what have other people done? What are other people doing? Learning to separate themselves from that, kind of move away from the pack, move away from the herd, and really on this trajectory to blaze their own trail, to set off in a new direction on a new horizon, to experience a different kind of love than what they may have been taught or have come to believe was possible. So I'm going to get a few more messages for you, group 3. What does this person have to say? Okay, and they say, you mirror my strengths and weaknesses. I panicked. So that was coming up in terms of really holding the mirror up for each other, this counterpart energy, this twin flame energy, pulling each other in so close, only to really have the connection kind of zap and awaken those wounds within self, those kind of limited beliefs, belief systems, beliefs about self, those limited perceptions, in order to kind of move off in other directions and work on these things. So this person is, acknowledging here that they may have kind of tried to deny this, to stay within a comfort zone, or really they were just not open in the past to what this love had to offer. Maybe very kind of concerned with the surface appearance of this, or what they had come to believe love should look like, what partnership should look like. And it's something where they're acknowledging that their actions of the past were largely fear-based. This again feels like someone who is really actively seeking to transcend fear, and in a major way has transcended a lot of fears. That even this self-awareness, that it being with the King of Swords, able to admit to self some of these actions in the past and what those actions may have stemmed from or been motivated by. This is a huge milestone for this person. This process of really kind of reconciling the masculine and feminine polarities, these active and receptive polarities within self, to come to more of a place of wholeness, and then be able, willing, and ready to kind of meet you in your balanced state between the masculine and feminine polarities within self that you've been working on, so that the two of you are kind of in sync. You're in tandem in terms of your perceptions, in terms of your goals and how you are operating, how you are kind of taking in and processing exterior circumstances, how you're navigating these interior landscapes. And so a lot of awareness that has come to this person about kind of this process, this balance within self that is necessary in order to then balance the potential of harmony between you in the future. And they also say, so many songs remind me of you. So they could be listening to music a lot, which could have been very healing for them. This can also be kind of a confirmation if you're hearing songs and they're feeling like messages from this person's higher self. This can be a confirmation of that. And this can also speak to, in terms of just music in general, is kind of a series of notes that individually it doesn't have as great of an impact as all of these things kind of combined and together, that that rhythm, that melody, that harmony is achieved through the collection, the culmination. And so this is this person is starting to really recognize kind of the light and shadow aspects within themselves, within you, within this connection. And again, understanding how your strengths and your deficits within both of each other really match up and really complement each other, and a lot of harmony is created almost out of that difference. And they also say, I miss hearing you laugh. So that ties in with the Sun card and this desire for the happier times, to return to that, to step more out of an energy of kind of fear and avoidance into really participating in this connection, working toward joy within this connection. And, again, this desire to really kind of reemerge in your life, to reintroduce themselves into your life, to come together at this point where a lot of healing and transformation has taken place within both of you individually. And this person really feels motivated that this is the time where what may not have worked in the past between you, or didn't have the potential to truly work in the long term, because there were, some unresolved things within self that you both had to be triggered into dealing with independently and on your own. This person is really feeling this kind of this motivation, this sign, this signal, as they're listening to their heart and their higher self more, to take some action towards you. Move through any fears of rejection, fears that you may have moved on, and to at least put themselves out there anyway, to honor that truth of their heart, to at least make that known, to plant that seed with you, and with faith and trust to really understand that the best possible outcome will result in the time that it is meant to between the both of you. So I'm going to finish this reading for you, group 3, with some initials. This can be first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it can spell something out. All right, so we have Z, T, G, H, R, J, N, X, I, B, F, and Y. So those are your messages, group 3. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the video. If you like the reading, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I also sell handmade jewelry and some divination tools in my Etsy shop if you're interested in checking those out as well. So I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.